Well, here's a pretty bleak forecast for the American waistline. A new report says citizens of the world's richest countries are getting fatter. You knew that, but did you know the U.S. is leading the way? The study predicts that 3 out of every 4 Americans will be overweight or obese by the year 2020. Our next guest is author of Eat This and Live for Kids. Dr. Ron Colbert is a family practitioner who specializes in weight loss. Unbelievable to me that the number could be that bad. 75% in about, what, 9, 10 years?
In 10 years, it's going to be 75%. Now it's about 2/3 or 67% of Americans are overweight or obese. So we're about to see an epidemic, and as a result, we're going to have health care costs increase, as well as governments are taking notice of this, and they're saying, hey, America is leading the way as the fattest country in the world.
Well, you know, we've seen in places like New York City a proposal to, reduce sugar in sodas or get soda machines out of certain places. Is this something for government to handle, or is it something that parents and individuals need to handle?
Well, again, I think it needs to start with the family. It needs to start with the children seeing the parents modeling their behavior, choosing low sugar items, low glycemic foods, decreasing their fat, choosing healthy types of fat, and portion control. But realize this obesity epidemic is creating an epidemic of disease. 35 major diseases are caused from choosing to be obese, including over 12 different forms of cancer. So we truly have an epidemic, and it's affecting actually the cost of health care. And that's what's taking notice in other governments.
Is it because, in part, among kids, I mean, you wrote the book on kids and their eating. Is it because, in part, so much of their entertainment these days is focused around the computer, video games, and basically just sitting in a chair?
Absolutely. There's less exercise, less activity, more computer games, more video games, less sports, less football, and less playground activities, bicycling, things that burn calories, and too many junk foods. Too many cheap, easily accessible foods around the house, sugary foods, chips, sodas. All of these types of foods literally are creating this epidemic, and it's so easy to get to. But the parents are helping their children because they're buying the groceries. They're buying the fast foods. They're keeping the sodas around the house and the cookies and candies and chips.
All right. So in 15 seconds, what do you tell parents?
Well, first of all, they have to be the example. They have to actually lead by example by choosing, instead of keeping sodas and all around the house, keeping fruit juices, water, adding lemon to the water, getting rid of the irresistible foods out of the house, putting nuts, putting natural foods, sprouted breads, whole grain breads, as well as teaching them how to use, natural foods instead of the artificial foods and the junk foods that's killing our children.
Sounds good to me. Dr. Don Colbert, thank you.